Hello guys and welcome back to another video. So today we will be reviewing the Pico 4. Now I've heard a lot of great things about this headset, like how OP it is for Gtag and stuff, and honestly the movement does feel a bit more better actually on this headset than on my Quest 3. And this headset feels like really great, but the one thing is that sometimes it does get a little painful on my forehead, but honestly right now I don't feel that, but yeah. Now the controllers, they don't really feel the best because like there's no place to rest your thumb on, but that's not really that bad. Now whenever I'm playing, right, then the wrist strap, there's like two plastic parts, right? One is near the controller and one is that tightens it up. Now the one that is near the controller, if I move my controller fast, it just constantly hits the controller and just constantly makes noise. Now, for some reason, it kinda just annoys me a little, and for some reason because of that, I feel a bit more worse at the game than usual, but honestly that could be just because I'm not really used to the headset yet, but I'm still learning to get used to this headset. Now, for some reason sometimes it does feel a lot more laggier than on my Quest 3, but honestly that doesn't really bother me that much. I am on 90 Hz and I have been messing around with the settings a little to see if I can figure out how to make it less laggier. But honestly right now it's not that bad, because it always feels like at the start when I start playing it doesn't lag that much, but at the end of my play session it does feel like it starts getting a lot more laggier. Now whenever it does get laggier, it does kinda annoy me, but honestly that doesn't really change anything else in the game from what I know so far. But the lenses are like actually massive. Now the volume button, for some reason, instead of being under the headset or anything like that, it's on the side, like the part where like the head strap moves, on that side, the top part, that's where the volume button is, which is kind of weird, but I don't know.
Now for the RGB adjustment, instead of using like a scroll wheel or moving it by hand, you actually have to go into the settings and put it like in the settings on what the distance thing you want it to be. Because, now I don't know why, but yeah, but so it can move, it actually uses motors, which is cool. But the thing is that if you have somewhat of a big nose and you like make the RGB adjustment read as low as possible, it can actually start hurting your nose. So just be aware of that if you have a big nose. I can put mine all the way to the minimum because I don't have that big of a nose. Honestly, that's not really my issue. If you decide to put all the way to the minimum and you have a big nose and the thing just starts crushing your nose. Now, would it break your nose bones? I don't know. Maybe only if you have a massive nose. But I don't know.
Now we'll be showing a bit of gameplay on this headset to like show how the headset pretty much feels, The microphone quality actually isn't that bad, I'm pretty sure. But for me it has sometimes felt a little bad, but people in public lobbies have said that the mic quality isn't actually even that bad. Now, my friend Gtag, who I've played with for a very long time, actually said that the mic feels like a lot more clearer. So, yeah. Now, when I did a stream in Bone Lab, a bit before I started recording this video, when I rechecked the live stream, my voice did sound a lot more clearer with the Pico microphone, but it made me sound a little more younger for some reason, but honestly, I don't know why. It's not really that big of an issue, honestly, I think. But slippery walls on this headset feels like crazy easy. Like, it feels like I can do slippery walls a lot more better on this headset than normal. Like on Quest 3. And honestly, all movement just feels like a lot more easier. Because like, now, honestly, do I think it's OP? Maybe if you figure out how to get really good on this headset, but I'm currently not really used to it. So, honestly, I don't really know as of right now. And currently my game kinda started lagging. So, now on Pico Connect, there's also a lot more settings. There's like different types of like color things, I guess. There's natural, vivid, and one more. I kinda don't remember what it was. Then there's also controller sensitivity, which I currently have on 5%. But when I first downloaded the Pico Connect app, for some reason the default controller sensitivity was 50%, which is absolutely insane. Now, this headset does feel very shaky. Which, it's probably because of my kind of small head. But I don't know. Now currently, for some reason, my game is lagging a lot. Like as I told you before. Now it feels like that light taps sometimes feel like the hardest hits on like Quest. Like I was barely trying on those slippery walls, and they were super easy right now. And the game like feels really easy. Now sometimes I don't know why, but it feels like there's something that like puts a bit of like cold air, I guess, like onto my face. Now I don't know where that's coming from, but it is coming from somewhere. And it feels like it's coming kind of from like the top of that set. I don't even know why that happens, because when I've been kind of looking around in the headset before, it didn't look like there was anything that would blow air onto my face. But that cold air thing does happen from time to time. And honestly, like, I'm not really used to like that much stuff yet, but I'll get used to it. I'll get used to it soon enough. Now, is this headset worth it? I'd say probably yes, but sometimes there is a few bugs I'm experiencing, like lag, but honestly I don't know. But also one more good thing is, on the world scale check, I finally don't have a gap on this headset. Finally. So now I can actually pass it, because on my Quest headset, I had a gap. Which is crazy, but yeah. Now the radius of like the good resolution quality stuff is kind of like weird, because like even on the Quest 2, it felt like it was a bit more better than on the Pico 4. And when I first tried on the headset, it felt like the headset had to be like a lot more lower than like normally for a headset from the Quest. Because like the Quest felt like it was a lot more higher, but for the Pico 4, it felt like I had to push like the headset a lot more down. Now it could be just because I'm really used to how like the Quest 3 is like on your head. But I don't really know. Now, is this headset actually worth it? I mean, I'd probably say yes, but in some case I'd also kind of say no, because when I first started using it, it really kind of hurt on my forehead, and like it was pretty weird. And honestly, it might be better to get the Steam frame once it actually releases. But honestly, I would probably keep using this headset for Gtag. But for other games, like maybe example Bone Lab, the Pico 4 isn't really that great. Now, why am I mentioning Bone Lab? I don't really know. I just felt like it. But on the Pico 4, for some reason, on Bone Lab, when you go on slow motion, it just kind of sticks on slow motion, and you have to open the Pico menu to stop the slow motion in Bone Lab. And also, whenever you like rest your finger on like the joystick or like the buttons or really anything, it kind of just moves the phone down. Like for in Gorilla Tag that doesn't happen, but like for example, if this was like Bone Lab, right, then this phone would just be down constantly, even if I wouldn't rest my finger on anything. I don't know why that happens, but yeah. This will be the end of the video, and bye.